Delighted to be with you here today on the Word of Encouragement on this Tuesday. And today I'd like to go to the life of Christ and his teachings. The Gospel of John, as you know, is the last gospel that was written. In fact, it was written decades later than the three synoptic gospels. John, in his later years, was inspired by the Lord to write the Gospel of John, then the Epistles of John, and then, of course, the final book, the book of Revelation. And so the book of John focuses on the person of Christ, his deity, and what he taught. And in John chapter 10, we have precious teaching of the Lord. And we read in verse 17 of chapter 10, "Therefore doth my Father love me, because I lay down my life, that I may take it again." Speaking of giving it for us on the cross. "No man taketh it from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again. This commandment have I received of my Father." Now this is very instructive. As we read the account in the Gospels of the betrayal of Christ, his passion, the beatings with the Jewish Sanhedrin, and then the Roman beatings, and the awful agony that he went through just going up to Golgotha, and there being crucified, we see the power of the Roman Empire. We see the power of the Jewish Sanhedrin under the Roman Empire, and we see men everywhere. But this was allowed by God. He could have called, as he said, 10,000 angels, but he did not. In just a moment, he could have destroyed the universe. But he laid his life down himself, willfully. That's why the Father loves him. He gave his life for us, and God the Father gave him to us as our gift, as John 3:16 says. And it was the will of God that put him on the cross, not the work of man. So as you see things today, as it seems like Satan is just dominating everything, the world is corrupting, well, God is allowing this to happen, and God knows exactly what he's doing. But this is not something that could not be overturned if God wanted to overturn it. And certainly in the tribulation, he will conquer at that time. All the power of mankind cannot stand at all up to the power of God. So when we see all of this occurring, we need to realize God's allowing it. God will protect us. God wants us to reach people. He wants to do a great work. He will even use what's going on to do a great work. But we are not helpless. God has allowed it. God's will is involved in all that is going on. He's not responsible for the wickedness, but he has allowed Satan to do what he's doing. And so we need to be encouraged that we are not helpless, waving out there in the wind. No, God is on the throne, and God is in control, and he is allowing things to progress. And so we need to trust him. All things do work together for good, and we need to believe that with all of our heart.